Go back and tell me how you got the job here first.
So I had actually made a band mix account, which is, you know, for people that are looking for bands or just jobs as a musician. And I got a random message one day from a lady that works at Wendell's, and she messaged me and said they were looking for a house band singer and told me to come try out. And so I was like, why not, you know, why not make money doing what I love? So I came out and tried out. First night, they were like, we want you.
Just like
so
that.
Yeah, just like that. And so ever since then, I'd worked there for 2 years every single weekend and up until The Voice. So all the band members here had actually been here for years before me, but I had never even been in a band before being at Wendell's. So honestly, you know, it was really easy to kind of transition into that. They accepted me like their daughter because, you know, all the guys in the band are
Old.
they're not old, but they were just super nice, and they were excited to have, you know, just a fresh new person come in. And so we clicked right away, and they're super talented. They picked up every single song that I wanted to learn, like, immediately. And we got to the point where we could, you know, tell what each other was going to do during sets. And we just got really comfortable with each other, and they became some of my closest friends. I think it did surprise me that I did fit in that well because, you know, you always have that fear of being the new person. And with musicians, it's hard to tell because some people don't want you to take their spotlight or something like that. And so it kind of gets really competitive at certain points in times. But honestly, for the most part, it was all friendship and acceptance and everything I could have asked for. Before I came in, I think they were playing a lot of older country, but I still love older country, but I was bringing in a lot of newer songs, which was bringing in a younger crowd too. So it all kind of just worked out on its own, and we did a mixture of songs and styles and just all kinds of different stuff.
You're at Wendell's.
Mm-hmm.
What prompts you to get involved in The Voice?
I think after working at Wendell's for 2 years, I was ready to take the next step in my career because when you're young, when you're 21 years old, and you're spending every weekend at, you know, a bar singing, it's fun and all, but, you know, you kind of wonder what else is out there. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a leap of faith. And I'd actually tried out for The Voice twice before this time, and I didn't make it past callbacks. And so I was like, I'm going to try out one more time. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll just move on with my life and try to explore other options. But then this time it worked out. And I think, honestly, working at Wendell's for 2 years and singing every single weekend made me a stronger musician, because before then I was singing here and there, little acoustic gigs, and I didn't really have a chance to strengthen my voice. So I think being here and exploring different types of songs and expanding my range really helped. And so I think they could tell that from, you know, the year that I had not auditioned and then came back and auditioned again, and they took me in. And honestly, I would say with that show, it's kind of hard to tell what they're looking for. It could be a bunch of different things, but I do think having the experience of singing every weekend it did help, because it made me a stronger artist. And I think going in there knowing what kind of artist I wanted to be really kind of made them say, oh, okay, well, she's serious now, so let's give her a chance.
What was your reaction when you realized you had made it that original time?
Oh gosh.
Freaked out?
When I made it that time, I think I was just like, finally, you know, I did a sigh of relief, and I was like, it's about time. It was just a moment of, you know, being proud and saying, finally, my hard work has paid off.
For all the people in the upstate that were following you,
Mm-hmm.
give us an idea of what it was like going out there and basically living 3 months of your life in Hollywood. When you first went out there, what was the thing that surprised you the most about being in that environment?
Going from Piedmont, South Carolina to LA was a complete, total change for me. I think I went out there kind of expecting everybody to be really stuck up and really snooty because of like what you see on TV. You know, you see everybody like with their sunglasses on, and I have no time for you. But everybody there was super nice, super helpful, and it made the experience even better to be working with people that really cared about you, and you could tell they really cared about you. And I also think the most surprising thing was going out there and seeing how non-competitive the people on the show actually were.
Really?
Yeah, we when we all got there and when we all made blind auditions, made it past that, everybody was just like one big family. It was never a cutthroat type of situation. It was always super down to earth. That also made the experience more enjoyable for me because I was super nervous about how people were going to act because I don't like competitiveness. I'm a friendly person. I like for everybody to get along. And so that put me at ease to know that people weren't like that. So while we were out there, you were completely sequestered. You could not go anywhere. You couldn't get a taxi anywhere. You know, you stayed in your hotel room and you practiced your songs. That was pretty much it. We could walk across the street and get food, but we couldn't drive anywhere. Like, it was complete, like, because I guess they can't risk people knowing who you are and, you know, potentially you getting hurt or something like that. So, even up until live rounds, you couldn't really do anything. But I can understand why, because, you know, that's a liability for them. But it was just wake up, go do what you had to do that day, and then come back, practice your song, go to sleep, and wake up and do it all over again.
While you were out there, did anybody ever recognize you in that area where you were confined? Did somebody figure out that this is where all these people are and what they're doing?
Well, they actually changed us around hotels on purpose. You know, they've been doing this for 13 seasons now. So they knew it. They had a system, but it never failed. More towards like the end of live rounds, people would start to notice, but it was never like a hostile situation. It was always just a fun little run-in.
Know why the decision was made when you had your options to go with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that is the $100 question.
Looking back now, did you still do the right thing?
I personally think I still would have chose Miley even if I had to do it all over again, because I really had a strategy going into the show.
Which was what?
Well, I first was going to go in and pick Blake because, you know, that was the obvious choice, and that was country music singer. I wanted to work with him. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know, every country singer almost picks Blake, and I want to stand out among everybody else. And so I heard that Miley was looking for a country artist, and I was like, what better way to stand out than to go with something completely different? Some people hated my decision. Obviously, most people hated my decision just for the simple fact that she's not country. Right. But I had to make them understand, you know, as an artist, you have to do what's best for you. And I don't think I would have gotten as far as I did if I hadn't chose Miley, because Blake sees female country singers every day. And I wanted to prove that I wasn't just like every other female country singer. And I think I proved myself. You know, I made it top 10. Yep. And I have a sold-out show at Wendell's Dipping Branch. You know, I think I made my point for the most part. I think the biggest thing that I've learned from working with Miley and being on The Voice was just be yourself, be original. Don't let anybody try to make you a carbon copy of anybody else. Don't be afraid to step outside your box, which is something I've always enjoyed doing. Like, you know, I am a country singer, but at our shows we do a little bit of rock, you know, just a little bit of everything. But I think that keeps people interested and it keeps it diverse, because not everybody just loves country music, you know, and country music derives from a lot of different styles of music. So I think that's been the biggest thing, is just to stay original, because, you know, you can only be you, you know.
How have you changed since your last appearance here? This you have not been here since you became famous. How have you changed?
I think I've just become a more confident performer. I think that's the biggest thing, because before I could never play a show without playing my guitar, because I always felt like that was a crutch that I needed, and I would hide behind that. And now I just feel like I can go on stage and own the stage and have fun and interact with people a lot easier. So I think that was the most beneficial thing for me, you know, coming back as an artist, because now it's time to get serious. People have seen what you can do on TV, but they need to see it in real life, and that's what I'm here to prove to everybody. My social life has been crazy, to say the least. I really can't go anywhere without at least one person coming up and talking to me or taking a picture with me. And I think, honestly, it's kind of a cool thing. I'm not complaining about it at all. So
Have you gotten good at selfies?
I have gotten really good at selfies.
How will you entertain this crowd different from when you last performed at Wendell's, having been in Hollywood for 3 months and being on The Voice?
Oh man, well, it helps that I have an awesome band behind me. They are all so full of energy, and that helps me kind of perform better on stage because you can tell they're really having fun on stage. And that's the biggest thing for me, is just to know that I have people behind me that are enjoying it just as much as I am. And so I think just feeding off that energy and feeding off the crowd's energy, it's just a completely different feeling than, being here on a regular Friday night with a couple of people here. Because, working here every weekend, people heard the same songs over and over again, and eventually they stop paying attention. No matter how good you are, that can eventually happen. And so I think that's just the biggest thing, is bringing a whole new energy to the place where I started.
What else have you done with your career now that's different? Have you got an agent? Are you being booked more? Where can we expect you to show up next?
Our goal is just to, book as many places as we can, upstate, out of state, anywhere that'll have us. We know it'll be a great show no matter where we go, and so we're going to play shows in Greenville, Georgia, Tennessee. We're all over the place. So.
And when you say we, that's who?
My band and I.
And who's in the band?
My drummer's Jason Rogers. My bass player is Quentin Eads. My two guitar players are Justin Rowe and Nate Tinsley. And like I said, they're the best band ever. So I could not ask for a better band. Seriously, I'm not just kissing butt. I promise. It's funny because I knew them years ago when I was opening up for their band at the time, just a little acoustic set, and I still feel like I'm the same person then as I am now. And they've known me, they've watched me grow, but have still continued to treat me as the same person. And I appreciate that out of them, because I don't want to be treated any differently than when I started the show, because I don't view myself any differently after that. I think the biggest thing for girls and guys that want to follow their dream as a musician, or just anything in life really, is just to be confident in yourself. Don't let anybody else bring you down or tell you can't, because there's going to be people like that along the way, no matter how good you are. But you just have to know who you are, and be confident in that, and show people, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And respect yourself as artists, for sure, because there's going to be people that try to lowball you, or try to show you maybe you're not worth as much as you think you are. But know your worth, and just always be you. Don't change for anybody.
In school, was there any teacher, anybody that said you can't do what you want to do, or were they encouraging, or did you have somebody that said you're never going to succeed and you proved them wrong?
Honestly, all through high school, middle school, everybody was super supportive, because I think I proved myself that I really wanted this to be my career choice. I did have people tell me, you need a backup plan just in case it doesn't work out. But I had always been the person, I was like, I don't need a backup plan, because I'm going to make it happen either way. I did go to school for cosmetology, but also because that was something else I love to do. I love to do hair and makeup. And so I figured, why not just do that and have fun doing it. And but I think my biggest supporter throughout school was Will Ragland. I've known him since fourth grade. He was my drama teacher literally from fourth grade into high school, and I've known him my whole life. He's watched me grow up, and he's watched me grow into the person that I am today. He's really well known in the upstate, but he's just been one of my biggest inspirations, because I've watched him, he's in theater, but I've watched him grow too. So he's just been my biggest supporter, and the person that's pushed me the whole way. He'd tell me, I know you can do it. Just keep at it.
You got to go on stage in a minute, but tell me, were you surprised at the winner on your session? Who
Honestly, I don't think I was going to be surprised either way, because I knew every single person on the show deserved to be the winner. And I knew there was only going to be one, but I was so pleased and so happy with who won. And I love Chloe. She's a dear friend. She actually just posted a picture of us yesterday. So we're all a tight-knit bunch of friends. So I was going to be happy no matter who won.